Okay, hello guys. We are now on our laboratory activity number 2, which is the methods of separation. Now, my apologies guys because I failed to prepare a lecture video demo for your laboratory activity number 2 due to the lack of setup ng ating distillation apparatuses and wala din tayong pang paper chromatography dun sa may lab. Ayun, so ang ginawa ko ngayon is dito na lang muna tayo mag-experiment sa may OLabs. Dito, OLabs, which is a virtual laboratory classroom, na isi-send ko naman yung link dito guys. So, huwag kayo mag-alala. And ito, yan, isend ko yung link dito, which hindi lang naman chemistry ang available na laboratory lab natin dito. Meron din tayong physics, chemistry, biology, math, and English na pwede ninyong gamitin para sa inyong mga references kung curious kayo kung ano ba mga reactions. Now, the only scope of our natin is all about the separation of mixtures using different techniques such as bibigay ko naman yung ninyo, yung post-lab laboratory and yung natin, yung sa may yung procedure kung ano ba. And there are only 3 separations na gagawin natin such as the distillation, crystallization, and paper chromatography. So dito rin, makita nyo rin dito, as you can see here, kapag pumili kayo ng isang experiment, let's say ito ay sa chemistry, makikita ninyo dito yung theory, the procedure, the animation or the video, and the simulator. Siyempre, ay di-discuss ko dun sa may lecture videos ko yung ating natin, yung mga principles behind these separation techniques. So, punta na tayo sa may simulator. Siyempre, guys, aware po ako na lab gown ako dito, gloves and mask. Kasi nga, nag-experiment tayo, di ba? So, ayan, kailangan PPE tayo. And so, ayan, since pang-itas lang na kinukuha nyo, guys, aminin ko na ako pinaka-shorts na supposedly dapat nakapantalon and naka-shoes sa may actual laboratory. And wala din po akong gloves kasi mouse lang naman ang ginagamit ko. So, ganun. Okay, pumunta muna tayo sa ating unang experiment, which is the simple distillation. Now dito guys, it only involves what are the apparatus involved here. We have this pang-reflux. Ito, we have this condenser and this tube here na connecting tube na may rubber stopper and thermometer to measure the temperature, and Florence flask or round bottom flask, clamp, and ring stand. The tube dito kung saan magagaling yung tubig para mag-pull yung substance natin sa may condenser, and we have the receiving round bottom flask and also another clamp, and this one is cooling and this one is heating mantle. Now let's suppose that the setup was set up, the distillation setup is set up, then we have samples here. So ano ba yung samples natin dito? The water and the acetone. So paano ba natin mase-separate yan? We all know that the water boils at 100 degrees Celsius and acetone at 56 degrees Celsius according to some literature. Now let's start the experiment by turning on the heating mantle. So mag-heat na siya and nagre-raise na yung temperature natin. At how many degrees Celsius? Siya ay papalo ng 57. So nagbo-boil ng acetone natin. And kung mapapansin niyo guys, is may pumapatak na dito na kung saan, ang gagawin kasi nito guys, ng ating kwan. So ayan, so makikita niyo rin kung ano nangyari by reading this one here. So and ang first requirement din sa may distillation setup natin is that the two liquids should be miscible to each other. What do we mean by miscible? Two liquids are homogeneously mixed. Kung meron tayong solubility, which is the solid is soluble to the liquid or the solvent, meron tayong miscibility, which is the solute liquid is soluble to the liquid solvent. So liquid-liquid solution siya. Now, ang nangyari dito guys, once I turn on the heating mantle and once it raised to the 56 degrees Celsius, since yun yung boiling point ng acetone, mag-evaporate yung acetone natin at papasok siya sa may tube na ito. Ngayon yung condenser na ito guys, is meron siya nagpo-flow na tubig dito, which supposedly cooled the gas in order to convert it into liquid na siyang sasaluhin itong natin, itong round bottom flask natin. So ganun lang naman yung gagawin natin dito sa may actual experiment. Pero ang mahirap kasi dito guys is yung pag-set up ng apparatus natin. Doon tayo magtatagal. So that's it for our simple distillation. Now punta naman tayo sa may fractional distillation, which is ano bang pagkakaiba nito sa may simple distillation setup natin. Ang purpose ng fractional distillation natin is kung ano ba yung natin, na kung magkalapit yung boiling point ng dalawang miscible substance natin. Now, i-search natin dito, let's say for example here, kung ano ba ang sample natin dito. Ang sample natin dito is the methanol and ethanol. So ano ba ang boiling point ng ethanol natin? Boiling point of ethanol. So at 78.37 degrees Celsius. Paano naman yung methanol? 64.7. Now kung mapapansin nyo, is magkalapit sila ng boiling point. Once na magkalapit ng boiling point, which is greater than, dapat kasi when we use here, dapat kapag gagamit yung simple distillation, dapat malaki yung boiling point difference nila. Dapat more than 25. Now kapag less than 25 na yung boiling point, 25 degrees Celsius yung boiling point difference, is dapat ay gagamit ng fractional distillation kasi masyado nang malaki. Ang pagkakaiba naman nun guys is meron siyang special setup here, which is meron siyang fractionating column to separate the substance. Also condenser, thermometer to check the temperature, and ayun, simulan na natin ang experiment guys. In order to separate here, ano ba isi-separate natin una natin dito? Isi-separate natin una natin dito guys is yung ating, ang unang masiseparate dyan is yung methanol. Methanol yung unang masiseparate dyan. Kasi ayan, methanol here, ayan, 64.7 degrees Celsius. So, na-separate na yung methanol. Ngayon, susunod naman natin yung ethanol. Here, ayan, pinutin nyo lang to. Actually, na-try ko na siya kanina and hindi ko siya maka. But the point here, guys, is dapat ang masiseparate dito is yung methanol. Now, the next is the methanol na. Siyempre, kuunin nyo yung ethanol natin and ayun, separated na yung products natin. So, that's it for our distillation. There are two types of distillation again. The simple, when the boiling points of the two miscible liquids are greater than 25 degrees Celsius. Kapag fractional, less than 25 degrees Celsius yung boiling point ng two miscible liquids natin. So ayun, ang next natin is paper chromatography sa ating natin. So how do we separate this? Diba, sa may distillation kasi natin, we are separating two miscible liquids. Ano na naman ang sineseparate natin dun sa may chromatography? Ang sineseparate natin dito guys is the mixture of two or more components of our sample. Okay, ang common example nito guys is we are separating the organic compounds. Pero dito, simple lang. Actually, there are many types of chromatography, pero this is the most simple chromatography, which is the paper chromatography. Now, let's suppose we are separating the mixture of blue ink and red ink. So, ayan, kunwari, kamay ko yan. Wala pa siyang gloves. Ay, nako. Ayan. So, patakan na natin. Patak. And buksan natin yung ating chromatographic setup. Ano man tawag dito? For guys, medyo hindi familiar. So, tawag doon is yung chromatographic chamber. Chromatographic chamber. Okay? Now, gagawin natin sa simulator. So, ano na natin? And nawala po siya. Reset. Let's reset this setup here. And kung na natin dito. Yan. So, open na chromatographic chamber. And then, insert natin yung paper dun sa may chamber. Ayan. Close natin. And as you can see here, the isopropyl alcohol and water is yung ating mobile phase natin. And kung mapapansin nyo, kasi through capillary reaction, tumataas yung natin, yung solvent, dun sa may chromatographic paper natin or the Wattman filter paper. And as you can see here, nag-separate na nga yung mixture of red ink and blue ink. Now, tignan na natin after some time. Okay? So, ano bang gagawin ninyo dito? Chromatography is the technique used the separation of those solute that dissolve in the same solvent. So, let's see here na. Paano ba natin makikita to? Okay, let's zoom in. Pag hindi nyo maalam, dapat help here. So, ayan. Just click the substance here. Okay, I'm having some trouble. Here. Drag and place the chamber. Wait. So, ayun, show scale. And ayan. So, syempre, may measure nyo lang siya ng ruler. Show scale here. Wait. Ayan. Okay. Okay. So, ayan. I-measure nyo lang siya ng ruler. And how do we calculate for the RF values? Ano ba yung RF values natin? Meron namang formula na nakalagay dito sa may pa natin. So, it is only a division of the traveled by the blue ink, distance traveled by the solvent, which is 4 cm. Tama ba? 4 cm. And distance traveled by the red ink and blue ink. So, ang divisor natin, guys, is makikita naman natin dito. Ang divisor natin is the traveled by the solvent from the original line, distance traveled from the original line. So, ang gagawin lang dito is just ang mangyayari lang. So, let's repeat the experiment here. Okay. Gagawin nyo lang is just measure the natin. May measure nyo lang ng ruler, which is 4. Okay, sige, papakita ko na rin para sa alam mo ng lahat. Okay. Inulit ko lang experiment. Let's wait muna. Ayan. So, kunin natin. And let's show the scale here. Ayan. So, ang gagawin niyo dito is that is 3.9. Distance traveled by the solvent, so 4 cm. Distance traveled by the blue ink, ilan daw? That is 3.9. So, distance traveled by the red ink, that is 3.5. And i-input nyo lang naman siya sa may ninyo, sa may post lab ninyo. Pero bakit sinasagutan ko na? Okay, ang mangyayari lang naman dito is you need a calculator, just divide RF value of the blue ink, which is 3.9 all over 4.0. So, kayo nang bahala dyan. Okay, so that's for the chromatography. When our sample is the red ink and the blue ink. Now, let's separate naman yung mga plant pigments natin. Okay, so ayan. Okay, let's see here. And kung mapapansin nyo, ilagay na natin siya sa solvent natin. And let's wait some time. Kung mapapansin niyo, as the capillary reaction rises, habang nagra-rise yung solvent natin, is nasi-separate yung components ng sample natin. Makikita natin yan. I think that's 2 or more 3 colors, which is yung mga plant pigments natin, di ba? Sa mga natural products. At bakit wala nag-separate? Ayun, meron pala. Okay, there are 4 pigments of the plants here. So ano-ano ba yung mga yan? Ano-ano ba yan? What is the responsible chemical or organic compounds for the, I think this pink, yellow. This one here, this is yellow-green and this is green. So ano ba yung mga yan? Okay, yung mga yan is R, I shall say, is ito yung mga yun. Nasaan na siya? Red ink, blue ink. Okay, bakit wala dito yung mga plant pigments ng chemicals na yun na nandoon? Okay, bakit wala? Tignan na lang natin mamaya kung ano-ano yung mga yun. But let's go to the simulator. Now, ang gagawin nyo lang doon, guys, is just natin. Same lang din, i-measure nyo siya ng ruler. Then input the values. And when you, after input the values, is calculate for the RF value of each component. So, ganon. Yung mag-equal natin. So, that's for our chromatography. Now, punta naman tayo sa may last, which is the purification by crystallization. And ang samples natin, guys, are copper sulfate, potash alum, and benzoic acid. So ano bang purpose ng crystallization natin? Ngayon, kung maka-experience kayo sa may real-life laboratory kasi, is kung titignan niyo yung bote, wala kasi mapakitang demo. Tignan nga lang din natin dito sa may natin. Reagent. bottle for sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. So let's see some image here. And bakit wala? Dito sa may bote na ito is may kita ninyo yung classifications niyan. Okay, ito dito sa mga bote na ito is may kita ninyo that it is not 100% sodium hydroxide. May impurities yan. I think sa pagkakatanda ko is only 98% lang ng sodium hydroxide. And the other components, the 2% of it, is the trace metals na nandoon. So how do you purify that? So suppose that ang kukunin natin is yung, dapat copper sulfate. Ang kuha natin dito, sa may copper sulfate natin, is it is not a pure copper sulfate na nasa bote natin. Meron tayong mga impurities na nandito, which are the trace metals na pwede nating makita doon. It is not 100%. Kung makikita ninyo sa may bote natin. So, paano ba natin magiging pure? How do we get more than 99% of the copper sulfate? Now, gagawin natin yun by crystallization or dissolving the impurities. Okay, now, maglagay na tayo. Let's dissolve it in a distilled water and then in-mix natin. So, lagyan natin ng diluted H2SO4 in order to, para yung mga impurities natin is mag-further reacts dun sa may crude copper sulfate upang mag-separate siya. Now, i-filter na natin siya. Okay, syempre. Okay, the insoluble impurities are left on the filter paper. Malalaki naman kasi yung mga atomic size ng ating mga natin. So, yung iba dito ay mga naiwan. Naiwan dito sa ating filter paper. Sila ay nag-precipitate. So, yung nandito natin ngayon is more than 99% na copper sulfate. Sir, bakit hindi po 100%? Kasi nga, hindi tayo pwede mag-assume na 100% na copper sulfate yun. There is always an impurity present in our compounds. Now, okay, kunin na natin, i-heat na natin siya sa ating evaporating dish. Okay, heat na natin. So, nabe-vaporize na po yung water natin. And i-mix natin para mawala. So, ayan. So, meron na tayong tiny crystals na doon. And after doon, ilagay natin siya sa ating crystallization disk and i-cool natin for 30 minutes para mag-form ng crystal. And balik natin. Yan. And kung mapapansin niyo guys, okay, another dissolving process, maglalagay tayo ng ethyl alcohol with cold water to dissolve the further impurities in our sample and ilalagay natin siya dito sa may basin natin. So, hindi naman nakaka-affect doon kasi nga ang gagawin natin is we are going to dry our sample and transfer it to the filter paper here. Now, after some time, ilalagay na natin yung sample sa ating test tube. Rubber stopper natin, takpan natin para hindi mag-absorb ng water. Kasi copper sulfate is a hygroscopic yan guys. It can absorb water from the surroundings. Now, tignan na natin yung ating copper sulfate and voila! Meron ka ng crystal copper sulfate na na-synthesize. Wow! Okay, so ganun po ang ating crystallization process. Parang ang bilis. Hindi guys, actually mabagal yan ang crystallization process natin. Nakita nyo naman kanina, di ba? 30 minutes natin kinul yung copper sulfate crystal. So, ganun ang mangyayari sa may ating substance natin. Now, for your further activities, guys, is I suggest that you perform for the potassium alum sample and for the benzoic acid. Gawin ninyo sa may bahay ninyo. Yaang mga yan. And kapag ginawa ninyo, huwag na kayong mag-lab gown, mask, safety goggles to ginawa ko kasi I'm just demonstrating an example ko ano ba dapat itsura nyo sa may laboratory. And aware po ano mo ako sa may aking ginagawa ngayon. So, so ganon. And I think that's for the end of our laboratory activity number 2. Pa-record na lang. Now, dito sa may first part of the natin, ang ating distillation, is wala na kayong i-compute. Actually, ang sineparate namin dyan last year is yung gin. Kinalculate namin kung talaga bang 40% siya. So, observations na lang ang ilagay nyo, guys. And answer the questions to your post-lab. And that's how you done it. So, thank you guys for listening. And we are done on our laboratory activity number 2.